Welcome back to 3MD. So I realized the echo is really terrible in here, so sorry about that. Hopefully I'll be able to fix it in the future, but for now I'll just have to bear with me. So if you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, maybe you didn't know, but I did have my baby, and she's adorable, little Camden Nicole Klein-Hexel. She's an angel and so in love. She's so cute. I love her so much. I'm just going to give you a quick recap of what it's been like the past 3 months with a newborn and to tell you what my experience has been like. So if you're interested in hearing what's been going on in my life, stay tuned.
I'm Bethany. I'm a Southern sweetheart, a real housewife of Texas. I've got one busy baby boy and a little girl on the way. And I am one of 3 Mama's Drama.
I need to change that intro. Obviously, I'm not pregnant anymore. I've had my baby. Let me just add that to the list of things to do, and maybe eventually that'll get done. So month number 1 with my baby Cammie was rough, to say the least. And really, honestly, it comes with the territory of a newborn. My baby wanted to nurse every 2 hours, not just during the day, but at night. So, I was exhausted, running on little to no sleep, and it's rough. I'm the type of person that needs to sleep. I don't function well without getting sleep. I'm emotional, I'm cranky, I'm a pirate, or a sailor, whatever it is. That cusses a lot. It happens when I'm tired. Anyway, it was rough. So like I said, Cammie was nursing every 2 hours, and she was born 7 pounds 2 ounces, but nursing every 2 hours, she packed on the pounds. So by her first month, she was good 10 pounds, which is crazy. So she definitely wasn't missing any meals and exhausting her mommy from feeding her every 2 hours, but she's healthy and happy, and that's all I could ask for. So I'll take the exhaustion for a healthy, happy baby. My mom stayed with me for the first week that we were home. She came down for the delivery, and she was there for that, and then she came home with me and stayed for a week. She took care of Pierce and all of his needs, and that's how I wanted it set up. I wanted her to be there to take care of my son Pierce, who is 1.5 years. So he still needs a lot of constant care and attention. And so I wanted her to come down and take care of him, and she did, and it was great, and he loved it. She also took care of the baby too and spent time with her, but for me, I wanted her dedicated to taking care of Pierce and keeping him on his little schedule, because I worked really hard to create his little happy schedule and his little world, and I wanted to keep that consistent for him so that he could be in a good mood, and the transition of a new baby in the house would be a lot easier for him with her carrying on his regular daily routine. She did great with that. She'd got him up in the morning, we'd get him breakfast, she'd play with him during the day, get him lunch, put him down for his nap, and then wake up, play some more, have a snack, have dinner, and then she'd put him to bed. So it was really wonderful to have her there to take care of Pierce, and he was a happy camper. He loves his Gigi. I would suggest having someone stay with you at least the first week or so, maybe even just a couple days, whatever you're comfortable with, especially if it's your first baby, because it's a lot of work, everything's new, you don't know what you're doing, so to have someone there to help you is a lifesaver, it really is. And if you have other children, maybe you have them come over and take care of those kiddos while you take care of the newborn, or you have the option of close family or friends who your children can go and stay with. If you have older children, they can go and stay with the family or friends while you focus on baby for a couple of days or a week or however long you need. So around week 3, I developed mastitis, which is terrible. I had it one time with my son around the same time, and I developed it with Cammie as well around the same time frame, 3 weeks. And it's awful. You just feel so run down and so tired and weak, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It's terrible. So I had that. I got on an antibiotic. It was gone within a couple of days. I felt better. Obviously obviously still tired as hell, but you know, at least the mastitis was gone, which was adding to the exhaustion. Number 1, sleep as much as you can. I know everyone says that when you have a newborn, but it's true. You need sleep. Labor and delivery is a hard process for a woman's body, and it takes time to recover from that. So make sure you're sleeping as much as you can. Even during the day when your baby's napping, lay down. If you're not tired, at least rest while your baby's sleeping. Tip number 2 would be trying to change your baby only one time during the night, if possible. I know some babies require a little bit more. You know, if they're having dirty diapers, obviously you want to change those so it's not sitting against their skin. But if they're just wet during the night, if they don't have sensitive skin and you know you're powdering them and keeping them dry as much as you can, then I would suggest just one diaper change a night. And Cammie nursed every 2 hours, so I would change her right before I put her down for the night. I would change her diaper, give her a fresh one, wipe her bottom clean, and dry it with a tissue, and then put powder on it so it stayed dry, very dry, and then put her diaper on, put her to bed, and then I would change her around the morning hours, around like 2 a.m. and do the same thing, wipe her, dry her bottom with a tissue, powder it, then put the diaper on so it stayed extra dry. And she was good. I mean, my children don't have sensitive skin, or at least they don't have sensitivity around, you know, the diaper area, so they did fine with that. It helps baby to stay asleep at night because once you get them up and you're changing their diaper, it stimulates them and it wakes them up and can sometimes make it harder for them to fall back asleep. Tip number 3 is have some meals ready. At least that first week or so, have some heat and eat meals. So something that you can just throw in the oven and heat up and eat, or something you can put in the microwave and heat up and eat. You don't want to have to be cooking when you have a newborn in the house. That's too much to ask of yourself. So some people have church groups or support groups or family and friends that may bring meals over to the house, or if you have someone staying with you, like my mom, she's not a cook, but she can do simple things, or have your husband plan out your meals for that week so that you're prepared in that way, and it's one less thing you have to worry about. Month number 2 with my baby Cammie. Around 6 weeks, I developed mastitis again. It was terrible. I got on an antibiotic that I was not able to nurse with this time around, and I had to pump and dump. So I was having to try and bottle feed Cammie, which I did have breast milk stored that I was giving her in the bottle, but she did not take to the bottle well at all. It was terrible. She struggled. She would cry, she was cranky, she was hungry, she wouldn't take to the bottle, and it was awful for me as a mother to watch her struggle, because here I am with everything she needs right here, and I couldn't give it to her. So it was torture for both of us. I called my doctor and I told him, look, I can't do this. You're gonna have to switch me to the other antibiotic that I can nurse with, because she's not taking a bottle and I just can't do it. And so they switched me back to the antibiotic that I could nurse with, and she did great, and I just hoped and prayed that I did not get mastitis again. But to my dismay, I developed mastitis for the 3rd time around 8 weeks. So when she was 8 weeks old, I got it again, and this time it came back with a vengeance. It was terrible. I had the fever, the body aches, the chills, the night sweats. I had a red tender spot on my breast that was just awful, terrible feeling. And so it was not fun. And I had told my husband that if I developed it a 3rd time, that I was gonna have to stop nursing, because the only real preventative for mastitis is to dry the milk so you can't get it anymore. So I told him, if I get it, I'm done, can't nurse anymore, I've had it. And I did get it again, and I thought to myself, no, like, I've already tried this bottle feeding thing, and it's just not for us. She doesn't do well, she doesn't take to it. And she was not a happy camper, and neither was I. And I know there are a lot of mothers out there who bottle feed their babies from the get-go, or transition them shortly after having their baby. They'll transition to a bottle, and they do great, and the babies are fine, and mommy's fine, and everybody's happy. But for me, it wasn't what I wanted, and it was hard to watch my baby struggle. when I could just give her what she needed. And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna stick with it, and I did, and I continued nursing her. The mastitis went away. I haven't had it again since that 8-week mark. So thank you. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I do not have to deal with that again. So around 6 weeks, Cami started sleeping 5 to 6 hour increments, which was amazing. There's nothing like getting a 5 to 6 hour stretch of sleep when you have a newborn, especially when they've been waking up every 2 hours to eat. It is like the best thing that could ever happen to you. Along with the 2-month mark, Cami started smiling and cooing, which is a lot of fun. It's really sweet. You can kind of start to interact with them a little bit more, which is really nice. It's just cute. I mean, babies are cute. Who doesn't love a cooing, smiling baby? Number 1, continue to sleep as much as you can. So like I said, sleep at night, obviously when your baby's sleeping, and then during the day, try to nap when your baby's sleeping, and just rest your body as much as you can. Rest, rest, rest. Tip number 2 would be to help baby sleep during the night. So some things you can do for that is, again, try and change your baby only once during the night if possible, or if needed. And then keep it dark and quiet and cool at night. Swaddling babies, so keeping them tight, their arms in. My daughter loves it. Some babies don't. My daughter loves it. So when her arms are tucked in tight and she squirms at night, it doesn't wake her up. But if her arms are out and she squirms, it wakes her up, and then she's up. So swaddle babies' arms in, keep them nice and tight. They love it. Another tip for helping them sleep at night would be to keep them active during their awake hours during the day. Does that make sense? So when they're awake during the day, which isn't a lot or for long periods of time, but when they are awake, keep them stimulated. So talking to them, giving them tummy time is a great way to keep them awake and active during the day. Month number 3 with my little baby has been awesome. Month number 3 means let the fun begin. This is a really fun time for babies because they're transitioning out of that infant phase into the baby phase, which I love. A lot of people like that infant phase where they're sleeping all the time and they're just cute and they're cuddly, and they're cute, cuddly, but for me, it's not my favorite stage. I don't particularly enjoy infant stage just because I'm so tired and I just don't do well. Like I said, I'm not a happy person when I'm tired. So infant phase is not my favorite. So we're kind of moving out of that and into baby phase, which I'm so excited for. So she's more playful nowadays. She's much more talkative, and she even laughs. She's a little bit ticklish, and so if I tickle her in the right spot under her arms, she'll laugh out loud, which is so cute. I love it. She also is staying awake for longer stretches during the day, which is really great because it allows more time for interaction. So I'm talking to her more. Pierce gets to play with her a little bit too. And she loves to watch him. She thinks he's just the coolest person that has ever lived. And the whole 3 months that she's been alive, he is like her favorite to watch. And so she'll watch him just run and play, and he'll come over and talk to her, and she'll smile at him and kind of talk back to him, and it's so fun. I can't wait for her to get bigger and they're playing together. I'm really looking forward to that. So she's trying to sit up, which is kind of funny because she's a little bit young to be doing that, but when she's in her swing, I'll look over at her and she's lifting her head off the back of the seat and her shoulders off the back of the seat, and she's just straining so hard to try and sit up out of her bouncy seat, and I'm like, girl, you are only 3 months old, honey. Put your head back. Be a baby. She's ready to be big. And so she'll sit up in her swing, she'll sit up in her bouncy seat. And so I've kind of started putting her in the little the bumbo seat, which is great because it has a lot of support. So I'll set her in that with a little tray and some toys, and she can look at everything. She really likes it. I've also put her in the exerciser quite a bit. I think that's what that's called. You know, the big round thing that they sit in the middle of, and it has all the little toys attached to it that they can play with. So I've put her in that a couple times, but her waist is really tiny, and so I can't just set her in it. She'll flop all around. So I put a little blanket in the seat and then set her down in that so it just hugs her body so she's not wobbling all over the place. But she holds her head up great. So if I have that in there, she can sit in there and she can play with all the toys and she can watch Pierce better, and she really loves it. So also during month number 3, I've been able to go to the gym, which has been really nice. After the kids go to bed, I'll come down to the gym and I'll work out a little bit. Nothing crazy, just light weights and body weight circuits and the Stairmaster. And then during the day, my kiddos and I take walks to the park. So that's kind of my exercise during the day. My body definitely is different with baby number 2. Hasn't bounced back as quickly as it did with my son, which is sad to me, but I kind of figured it would be that way. You know, your body is going through this once again. I'm a little older this time and not much, but I kind of figured that would happen, but it definitely is different. And I can do a separate video on that if you'd like, talking about the difference between baby body number 1 and baby body number 2, because there's definitely a difference. All right, well, that's it for months 1 through 3. If you'd like to hear more about my experiences with mastitis, the cause, the cures, or if you want to hear more about my mom bod and the difference between baby number 1 and mom bod after baby number 2, I can definitely do some videos on that. Just leave comments down below if those are things that you'd like to see, or leave comments about anything else you'd like to see a video on, and I'm happy to do that for you. I also plan to do a labor and delivery video, labor and delivery with my son versus with my daughter, and how different they both were. It was a very, very different experience for each one. Stay tuned for those things. I'm gonna end with a belly shot, let you guys see what my belly looks like at month number 3 after having a baby. I know people are curious and kind of like to see those things, so here we go. Okay, hopefully I'm in the frame and you can see, but this is belly after baby, number 2, 3 months. The belly button's weird, I know, but that's it. And I'll keep you posted on how things progress. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So around? I'm really tired. I also plan to do it's time to go to bed.